We've got no TV for this spring game. We got no live stream. We got nothing coming out of there, but we've got the next best thing. We got Alonzo Oliver. We got Alonzo 1219 talking Miami football here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. So welcome in. We're going to sit in for a few minutes and get the take from Alonzo, who was right there at the game. Zo, how you doing today, man?
I'm tired, but I'm good. I'm good. It was excellent. It was an excellent game. I'm a little tired, a little beat up, but I'm good. I'm good.
So it looks like they did. I looked up a few things. It looked like they went to the offense versus the defense. That's what they did. I saw 35-32, so it was at least close.
Yeah. It was good because he didn't do a whole lot of first team, second team. He mixed defenses up. He had first team defense playing with, saying, second team defense. He mixed defensive players up, like if players get hurt. He had some second string guys on first team offense. They did very well at mixing and matching and putting players in situations to where that might happen in a real live game. So from that standpoint, it was. I don't think you could have asked for a more organized game the way it was.
So Zoe, you know what the deal is here with these live streams, and since I couldn't get the notification out because I didn't know exactly when we would be able to get together, there's going to be a whole lot more people on here in 10 or 15 minutes than right now. So we'll save the analysis, the hardcore stuff for right now. I got people calling me right now. We're talking to Zoe right now. We're going to talk to Zoe for a while and hold the phone calls. So basically, I want to talk about your time down there in Orlando. So you had to come down from South Carolina. What the vibes like? Did you meet anybody new?
It was a real good vibe. I met probably when I first got to the stadium, it was crazy. Is that so? That's so. I was meeting people right and left. I didn't talk to any players. I didn't go out and see any players, any former players, anything like that. But just the Miami fan base was amazing to me. Out in the stands, and everybody just coming up and congratulating me on the channel, and showing their support and love for the channel. And I kept hearing the same thing from most people, the same exact thing. The one thing I like about you, Zoe, is you keep it 100% real. You don't copy nobody. You stay true to you, and it's a real show. So that made me, because I was kind of down a little bit. So it made me feel kind of good that people actually want you to be you. They don't want you to be somebody else. So and it came from everybody. It came from everybody. I had a guy that barely speak English that knew me talking to me. He's like, you good, you stay real, It's like, he's like, you never change, you don't change. I hear you say you want to change you don't change you stay real because I like you because you're real. And I was like, so it made me feel good, man. So many people that come up to you and appreciate what you do, appreciate the hard work that you put in, man. And I think one time I was talking about asking for donations, and the guy was like, he said, you come all the way from South Carolina, you should ask for them. You giving people stuff that people don't get to see. It's
absolutely.
Like,
absolutely. That's an amazing point right there. If at any point anybody should be asking for donations, and I had somebody give me a speech. I had a couple different people that I did not ask for the speech, but in knowing what I'm trying to accomplish and in knowing the value that I bring, they gave me a speech and basically said, you need to be not sorry about it, not unapologetic. You need to get on there and basically just briefly let people know this is the deal. This is the value I bring. This is the content I deliver. This is first-rate analysis, and it's worth it. So contribute and not be sorry about it. Now, when you're going from South Carolina down to Orlando, especially then, this is when Zoe should be supported by you folks out there.
And I think that it was crazy because when he was talking to me about it, as soon as he said something about it, the University of Miami was asking for donations for one of their funds. And they were like, they need to raise another $5,000. He was like, see, even Miami asked for donations.
Absolutely.
We were live at the time. I was like, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely expensive. I tell people I don't like to stay in a 2-star hotel. So, this weekend probably was almost around $500, So I mean, it gets expensive, and you want to kind of cover your cost, and also it's nothing wrong with making a couple dollars. I'm not a minister, so I'm not but there's nothing wrong with it's a business. This is a business. You get your tax form every year from YouTube. This is a business.
We
So,
both love college football. You love Miami in particular, and we are doing this different ways, but we love college football. So we're doing this because we love it. But let's not make a mistake here that we have full-time jobs and we're pouring ourselves into this as well. We want to do this full-time and do it better than we're doing it now, because we're going to be able to get the equipment and take the time and full force throttle go at it. And that's going to take a heavy lift, and so that's what
I finally got the OBS. I finally got the OBS system up and running. Coach Coop helped me with that. Cause I knew nothing about it. I could not get it running, so he helped me. He helped me get that running, and I truly appreciate him for that. So it's definitely people don't understand it's a lot what goes on. It's not just jumping on camera and talking. But,
although that's what I do most of the time. Just kidding.
No, I know. I mean, you have to do your research. Yours is harder than mine because you got to do your research. You got to do your research on Florida State, Wisconsin, Clemson, Ole Miss, South Carolina. You got to do your research. Me, I just got to research Miami, and that's hard enough by itself. How many players are there on the team? Like 86.
It's usually 105. There's 85 scholarships. There's 85.
Now, somebody said that. I remember I was listening to your show one time, and the guy was like. The guy came on and said, I don't know why you get Alonso on it. He don't know nothing about this now. And I said, hey, I'm not a recruit analyst. Never I didn't play one on TV. I give a different type of content. And you even said something to him, but I give a different type of content. It's not, I tell people I'm not Cam Underwood. Cam is very knowledgeable about every aspect of that. I'm not Cam. I'm not Cam Underwood. And I respect Cam to the fullest because I respect his knowledge about the University of Miami. So I follow him a lot. To get, to get some of my knowledge because the guy's good. The guy's great. To me, he's the best. He's the best. He's the standard for Miami.
He's the standard at what he does. And he's extremely good, and that's why I have him on a regular basis. The reason I have you on a regular basis and the reason we connect is because you bring a social aspect to it in regards to, you need somebody who can take the temperature in the room, the barometer, and can look at things differently. And it's not all, let's memorize the roster and the stat sheet and churn out the numbers. You can take the social issues involved or just the team aspect. You've played sports your whole life. You can look at the football game itself, and maybe you don't remember who number 87 is, but you watched the play and you know what happened and why it happened, and you break it down.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and I enjoy doing it, and I'm gonna continue to do it. But I'm also trying to get better, and that's why I get to the point where I bring on people like the wholesome one, when it comes to talking about recruiting and everything like that, because he's that guy who truly understands that part of the game. So that's why I bring him on to talk about stuff like that. Because I mean, hey, I'd say he forgot more about football than I learned. That guy's smart. Oh my goodness gracious!
Absolutely.
Also, he is a walking encyclopedia.
That's the reason I bring him on here all the time too.
Yeah, I compare you and him a lot, like to remember stuff. The way he remembers it, I was like, I think I said it last week on the show. I said you and Mark Rogers got some type of weird brain that just gets y'all to remember. I don't forget nothing. It's like, well, I don't know what it is, but he's a very intelligent guy.
So if you've got 1 minute, go onto Facebook when you get a chance and check out the video I just posted today on my Facebook page because it was so hilarious last night. I had this guy, Prince 6'1", who's amazing.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah,
I like it.
I've never talked to him directly before. This is the first time he ever called me, and he was determined that he was going to change my mind on the playoff system. And he calls up and he goes, Mark, I'm going to change your mind on the playoff system. Here we go. And I said, okay, you're going to change my mind. And it was funny because I didn't take the full 15 or 20-minute conversation. I sliced it down to 1 minute because it went from boom to I just shot down every one of his points. And so within about 3 or 4 minutes, he's sitting there going, Mark, you changed my mind. I got to tell you, I didn't think you were going to change my mind, but you totally changed my mind.
Yeah, I think he's a Clemson fan.
Yes, I didn't know that.
he is for real. I like him. He's always in my chat. He always upbeat. That's a real guy.
So
That's
everybody
a
out
real
there,
guy. I love him.
everyone out there, the reason that I'm pushing back the football analysis is I just knew it would take 5 or 10 minutes for people to get on here, so we didn't want to be breaking down N'Kosi Perry in the first 15 seconds and nobody's watching. So we've got 26 on the line. We'll get hopefully many more. I'm going to take it one more direction before we start on the football analysis from the spring game. We got Alonzo1219 on the line, so check out his YouTube channel. I'm sure everybody watching this second knows about Alonzo1219, but if there's a person or two that don't, go over to his YouTube channel if you love Miami football. And I'm sure there are going to be a number of people that watch this once it posts and watch the record. So definitely check out his channel. Because, you had mentioned going down for the Florida game, which was scheduled for August 31st. And I made the excuse, which was very valid based on the way I cover college football, that I just couldn't bring myself to do that because there's just so many great games and big games. And I got to be here at Command Central watching everything. But now that they've moved that thing back to August 24th, and it's the only game in town, I might try to sneak on down there.
Come, hey, I would love to be in it. I love being to do a show, me and you together at Duffy's. I'm not going to the game. I'm going to Duffy's. I'm going to
try to go to the game if I can.
I'm going to Duffy's because they have they have 100. They already have me a section, and it's 100 TVs in it, and it's gonna be like you're gonna be able to see every angle. I did a walkthrough of it today, and the reason why I'm doing Duffy's is because for people who can't afford those $300, $400, $500 tickets. You do $20, and that goes towards your food. And you have a seat, and they're giving us a whole section. They're giving all Hurricane fans. They're giving us our own section inside of Duffy's. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm doing this for this is gonna be the 1219 family reunion. So I'm doing this for me and for like everybody who don't want to spend $400 on a ticket.
Well, I'm not spending $400 on a ticket.
That's probably how much they're gonna go, about $300-$400. And my thing is, you go to Duffy's, for $60, you'll get a life experience. You'll be in the cool air condition. That stadium is not climate conducive. It's not Hard Rock. It's not Hard Rock.
Well, I'm going to have a better time hanging out with you and everyone else. There's no doubt about that. But my thought was, I'm trying to run a business and give my business a boost. I go down to that game. It's the big game of the weekend. And if I could get a credential, I could get a credential and I can go into the locker rooms after the game, then I've got a ton of coverage I can deliver then.
Yeah, that's what I have. I think I have my press pass already en route to me. So, but I want to you should be able to get your press pass now. You should be easily get your press pass.
Me?
Easily.
I'm not a Miami guy. They're going to shut me down. They're going to say you're never down here.
It does. No, they're going to. What they're going to do? They're going to look at your content. And you are a Miami guy because you do a Miami. You have a separate Miami channel.
Yeah.
So they're gonna look at your content. What they do is they look at.
I need to get on.
What they do is they look at your content. They look at your content to see how much content you put out, and that's how they judge your credentials.
Well, I'm going to get on that this week.
Yeah.
All right. So Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, following the Miami spring game. We've got instant analysis live right here. So the game wasn't on TV. You couldn't find the live stream anywhere. You could find a little bit of clip right here and there. I saw a fan took a shot from I did the whole live bleachers of the Jaron Williams touchdown pass to the back of the end zone. You couldn't even see anything. So we got Zoe right here to tell us what happened.
I did a whole live stream. I recorded the whole game.
Is it up?
Yeah, I recorded it live.
Okay, well, I will give that a look. Where were you?
On YouTube. On YouTube.
But where were you? On the field?
In the stands. I was in the stands. I was standing right on the. I was on the 30-yard line, right down on the field, basically.
All right. So what stood out to you?
I'm giving credit to where people don't like to give credit to. First, I'm giving credit to the offensive line. Okay, those guys. I tell you, you're allotted 2.6 seconds. There were plays when all of the quarterbacks got sacked when they were sitting in the pocket for 4 or 5 seconds. I know one time we counted 6 seconds. And so they opened up holes. The running backs look good. They opened up holes. So the first thing that stood out to me was the offensive line. And They look they you can tell they're growing. They're still young. They're mixed matching them, but you can tell that they're growing and they're getting better. So that's the first thing that stood out to me. The second thing that stood out to me is actually Jaren Williams, the way he regressed from last week to this week. Did not have a good game at all. He really did not. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to at least be on the same level he was on last week, and he regressed. He took a lot of sacks. The one play that they called an interception, fumble type play by number 29. They call him Rudy. I don't know his name. The walk-on guy, the young white guy. I think he played defensive back. He plays defensive back. I forgot who he took it from, but he was down by contact. It would have been a down play, but he ended up able to strip the ball from him. But just his hustle there was amazing. But that wasn't Jaren's fault. That play wasn't Jaren's fault. The ball got high pointed and it got stripped once he got to the ground. So that wasn't Jaren's fault. But Jaren had he had a pretty bad day at quarterback today. Now to me, the best quarterback of the day was Nikoski. We'll break that down a little bit, but to me he was sharp. But Tate Martell impressed me so much today. That guy, I mean, it was a play when he broke out of the pocket, and it clearly would have been a touchdown. And the guy reached out with one hand. There was nobody else behind. He reached out with one hand just to touch him with one hand. Now, if you would have had to grab and wrap him up, there is no way he would have been able to grab Tate. He was full speed and he was coming at an angle. And I'm just guaranteeing you, he could barely touch him with a hand. But as soon as he touched him, they blew the play dead. That to me, that was a touchdown. When he rolls outside the pocket, he is dangerous. He's electrifying. When he rolls outside that pocket, he had an excellent game on that first drive of the game. He drove him down the field. Got a touchdown on the first drive. Second drive of the game, he drove down the field. He hit Will Mallory. He hit Will Mallory for, I think Will Mallory got the first touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. Then he hit Michael Irvin the second for a touchdown. He was amazing. But everything that I looked, and I talked to his father after the game. I didn't know that was his father, but everything everything he did was beautiful on rollouts. Him sitting in the pocket, I just think he's too short to sit in the pocket. He really can't see. When he sits in the pocket, you can tell he throws the ball high. He throws it high, trying to get it over the offensive lineman. So it goes high, and the receivers can't get to it because when he rolls outside the pocket, right or left, either way, he is electrifying. That kid is electrifying. He is good.
Interesting. So pretty much everything that you just outlined, I read earlier in I'll give them credit. This must be the Miami Herald, because they pretty much said the same thing. The Tate Martell, based on Cam Underwood's analysis that he brought on Wednesday night, other things that I watched, Tate Martell was awful in the last open scrimmage, apparently. He's just fluttering balls all over the place. And it didn't play into his hands in regards to a player because, again, they didn't allow quarterbacks weren't live. So that doesn't allow him to use his best part of his game. Jaren Williams, Nikosi Perry, as you mentioned, it sounds like Perry has not only been the best guy, but he's been extremely consistent start to finish. Every time he gets a look, anytime there's any kind of analysis, they say that he's pretty much the best quarterback.
He is. And I was going to wait to break him down last. What I like from him is I've seen a few plays from him that weren't great plays. They were they were decent plays. They weren't great plays, but they were great plays for him. And the reason why I say they were great plays for him is he took touch off balls. He took some of the fire. He took some of the fire out of the ball. When the little out routes, when he throws too hard, when the receiver either he's going to go through their chest and kill him, or it's going to go through their hands and just can't catch it. And I watched him. He's studying it, like he's thinking about it, but the ball placement was still there, and it was a soft touch, and they were able to turn up field and get some yards and get some first downs. I think the one thing about all three quarterbacks is they don't know how to lead receivers on crossing routes And on little out routes, they can't lead the receiver. The receiver seems to always be turning for the ball. I think their ball placement is going to have to get better at that on intermediate and short routes. So that's all three. That's all three quarterbacks that I saw that from. But Perry has NFL talent. I mean, it's just he has unworld talent. He is just for people to, if anybody in the stands, and I said the same thing last year, but if anybody in the stands just sit there and watch Perry, he has all world talent. He had horrible coaching. And when you have horrible coaching, it will destroy your career. Dan Enos is the guy. This guy here, you can see, he demands perfection. He demands you learn how to play football. You learn how to play quarterback. And if you look at all three quarterbacks, even with Jaren regressing this week, he still threw some brilliant balls. I just think it got kind of mental with him early, but the guy is good. And Enos, all hats off to that guy, man. He has these guys. I mean, to watch Nkosi stay consistent and get a little bit better every week, and then watch Tate jump the way he jumped, and even though I say Jaren didn't have a good game, a bad game, but it wasn't like a 5 interception game, you know what I'm saying? Not like that. It was just he had some off throws and like he was thinking a little too much. But that's what he's making those guys think. And that's making them grow. So he have a bad week this week, but I can guarantee you Jaren will bounce back because that's what Coach Danny says putting in those guys' head is you have to be a leader.
Zoe's on the line with us. It's Alonzo1219. I can't imagine that anybody watching on the live stream is not aware of Alonzo1219. But if you're not Miami fan or otherwise, you go to his channel on YouTube, Alonzo1219. If you're watching after we record and post, which hopefully thousands will, if you're not aware, again, I encourage you, get over to Alonzo1219 on YouTube. So you pretty much broke down.
I got $1,000. Tell George I got $10,000 that Florida won't beat us 100-0. Tell him I got $10,000. I got $10,000 on that. I got 100-0. I got $10,000.
He comes up with a different score about 3 times a day. George does.
100. I put my house on it.
I'll take Miami in the 99. I'll take Miami in the 8.5 right now.
Miami's not losing to Florida.
They're not going to lose a game, period?
We're not losing to Florida. I don't think we lose a game this year. I said that before. I said that at the end of last year. Once we hired Manny Diaz, I said we're not losing a game this year. And I stick by that because there's really only 2 teams on our schedule that really can beat us. And I mean by not a game this year, I'm talking about regular season.
Yep.
And that's Florida and Florida State. And I don't think either one of them better. Yep. Florida is living off the same thing Miami lived off for 2 years ago when we went 10-2. They're living off a BS schedule. Games that they definitely could have lost that they won, like South Carolina. Games that they definitely could have lost, and they weren't. They're not as good. All right, they were so good that they were having. They brought former players. I heard that they brought former players into their spring game, and allowed them to catch touchdown passes and stuff like that. Serious? That what we doing down there, Dan Mullen? Okay, I'm ready for you. Manny Diaz is all business. He's all business. So I'm ready to come play with us like that.
So do you want to take any calls?
If that's, I have no, for long as it ain't George.
We got people calling in. Okay, so the next person that calls in, I've ignored about 3 calls. So the next one that calls in, Martin Rosario, throwing $2 into the live stream here. George is delusional. He knows Miami will win. All right.
Is Felipe Franks better than Felipe Franks? Ain't nowhere near better. He's not better than he wouldn't start on it. He wouldn't. I don't think he will. He is not good. I don't care. No, I watched him play. The kid is. We can say we don't. I've never been impressed by Franks, and it's not that he's a Gator. I just never been impressed by him. So no, he's not better than nobody on Miami roster.
All right, it's Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Who's on the line?
Mark, just tell him pretend we have $10,000 on it, okay?
It is George.
George. I'm not pretending nothing. Tell
bidders money.
I mean, when you put out scores like that, it's disrespectful.
I want to take your money, Alonzo. You got kids.
I want you to. You can have every penny of it.
I'm staying out of this.
All right, I'm just saying.
George, you called just to do what? What are you calling for, George?
Well, I watched the game today, and it was exciting.
Oh, okay.
Do you know something, Mark?
When did you watch the game?
The only possible way you could have seen Miami spring game is if you follow Alonzo 1219. I think he had an exclusive on that thing.
I do follow him. I follow him on Twitter. I follow him on Facebook. I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel.
Oh. I don't think their game was anywhere else on TV or the internet or anywhere. I
George,
think Alonzo had
George, I'm here with a daughter. I'm shopping for cars for her. I'm out and about all over the place. I'm trying to build my channel. I'm doing videos today on Indiana and Penn State and all sorts of stuff. So
we had 1,000 people in the stream at one time. We had 1,000. We got to 1,000 people in the stream. Yeah,
that is awesome. So,
man,
you know, Zoe.
You just made me want to look up car safety videos and get back to you on that. Do you want some help on that?
Car safety videos. You know, it's hard for me to get.
How about an F350 with a brush guard?
Yeah. You know, Zoe, it's hard for me to get mad at George because he comments to my channel more than anybody.
I got mad at him. He know why I got mad at him. He know why.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. You two got into it a couple weeks ago, and I don't even know what the hell that's about.
His mouth. He got a little slick. He know what happened.
I just think you're going to miss me when I get a garden. I can't even believe I have time for this. But in the meantime, we have college football to deal with. This is serious shit, and we are playing in like 125 days. It's about to get hardcore between us.
It's already hardcore with us. We're not. It's already George. It's already hardcore with Miami. We're not bringing in former players at our spring game to catch touchdown passes. We're working right now. We're actually working. And so we already hardcore. We ready to whoop that ass.
Can you hear him, George?
No, not really.
Okay. He's basically saying, you know, they're not messing around. They're actually going to work. You guys are messing around with all sorts of gimmicks, throwing touchdown passes to former players and just messing around in the swamp, slinging mud around.
Yeah, because you can do that when you're Oklahoma or Texas or Ohio State or some good team, you know.
Okay, that's I just to keep that same energy when we see y'all in Orlando.
It's just for the fans. It was just for the fans, you know. It's a good day.
That wasn't for the fans. That was stupid. We got way more. We triple y'all in Hall of Famers. So y'all don't have enough Hall of Famers to be out there playing.
But it's the right word, but okay.
I'm just saying, George. I'm gonna explain something to you, man. For real. We're gonna beat the gator skin off y'all. Okay.
I tell you, I'm going to have a heck of a live stream. I'm going to be, unfortunately, when I say competing, you know what the deal is, because Zoe's going to be on. All sorts of people are going to be on. The Wholesome One might be on live after this game. But, man, the people that are going to be sticking their chests out and screaming at the top of their lungs after this game versus the ones that are going to be nowhere to be found is going to be fascinating. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it and just try to moderate it.
You know, one thing I love, though, there won't be, I can guarantee there won't be one Hurricane fan that runs from it. If we lose, we stand up. We're not like Gators, man. We don't tuck our tails and go lay in a swamp. You know, if we lose, we'll stand up and own it. Not going to tuck our tails and go lay down in the water. It's not what we do. We're men.
Hey, George, you're going to have to show up. Remember, you're going to show up if you lose.
I have never, ever asked for this before from other college football team fan base, but I'm asking for Miami this time. If we beat you, please come back on the show and talk and let me know.
It hasn't happened since It's only happened once since '81, so I mean.
I want you to come back and say you beat our ass fairly. You have a best team I've ever seen in my life. Let me know. Get back to me on that.
Why would you say something like that? If you win a game, you will get a congratulations from winning, but you're not gonna say you're the best team ever. You don't have enough national championship to even think about it.
Run over you. You understand it, right? He's gonna bust your quarterback.
You need an offensive line. Who's your offensive line? Name me one of your offensive linemen.
Your cornerbacks and your linebackers.
That's not what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm asking you. I asked you to name an offensive lineman. We have the best defensive lineman in the country. I can guarantee that you have the best defensive lineman in the country. Name your offensive lineman.
So we played different plays that won't fit.
Name your offensive lineman. So why were y'all, George? Why were y'all bringing in?
We know how good you are on the defensive line. We're going to throw in a couple fucking
George. Why were y'all bringing gimmick plays in? Why were y'all bringing in gimmick plays, George?
Yeah, right. You're not.
It's true. That's true. Why were y'all bringing in gimmick plays? Are y'all using excuses for why y'all getting y'all excuses ready for why y'all gonna lose week 1? Week 0.
Hey, listen, if I had a coach like Manny, if my coach was named Manny Diaz, I would hope he didn't get busted brokering a 2-ton cocaine deal on the side before game day. You know,
his father was the mayor. Well, I don't care. I don't care if he bringing in 2,000 kilos as long as we whoop y'all.
I'm just saying.
This is going to be good. This is going to be. I love that this game has been moved a week, and so I can just focus on that, and I can just blow it out big. And I'm going to do probably a 7-hour pregame and postgame.
All right, George. I want to hear one thing from you, George, because you keep talking. Right? If y'all lose, when y'all lose to us,
Florida is the criminals. Fuck Miami.
They are. Y'all got people on death row.
We are the street king this year.
Hey, do me a favor.
We got Bogle.
When y'all lose, I want you to be quiet for at least a month of the season. I don't want you chatting on nobody, on Mark Rogers, nobody. I want you to be quiet for a month.
All right, George. We got another call coming in. You got four. You got
an hour or two of my life today watching all 1219's videos. That was awesome. Thank you, Alonzo. See you guys later.
See you, George.
No problem, George.
All right. I think I missed the other call. Okay. Whoever was calling, call back. 860-325-3687. Let me explain something to everybody that is concerned about revealing their number or thinking that they're calling my number. That's not what this is. It's a phone buffer. So 860-325-3687 is not my number, and I don't see your number. All I see is 860-325-3687, and I've shown that on the screen. So it's just a phone program that obviously hides your number. It hides my number, and just call into the show. So whoever was calling, call in, and you can talk to Zoe on the Miami game.
I need to start doing that.
Down there. What's that, Zoe?
I need to start doing that because I get so many phone calls a day now. It's crazy.
All right, we got one coming in. Hey, it's Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Who's on the line?
Mark, what's going on, man? It's Ramon.
Hey, Ramon, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I was calling to save y'all from Georgia's comedic take on college football.
Well, thank you. We owe you a lot.
You saved us.
Funny guy. I give him that much.
George is back down to 53-17 now. That's his score now, 53-17.
George is showing some. They got some sticky icky up in Oregon, man. They got some good stuff up in Oregon.
Had some good teams over the years, but it's like when you get used to beating somebody so much, you just kind of expect it. You know, it was a shocker when we lost to them back in 2008 or 2006, whatever year that was. We lost to them. It came as a complete shock to us.
Well, that's probably the best team they've ever had.
Yeah, we don't lose to the Gatorbacks.
I hear you. So what you got for us, Ramon? Zoe's here to answer questions and respond to your comments. So what do you have?
Yeah, I want to see what Zoe's take was like as far as depth, like consistency. Like if you saw some guys on the second level of the D line and the O line that can add depth. But I know our biggest point of concern is the offensive line. But I just wanted to see if you saw some guys.
That's not my biggest point of concern. That's not my biggest point of concern. Offensive line isn't my biggest point of concern. Defensive line, I think we're pretty solid. It was hard. I'm gonna have to go back and watch a lot of the film because I was recording. So to be honest with you, recording and paying attention is the hardest thing to do.
Absolutely. So one of my first jobs in sports TV, I would go out to the games, and even though I was a sports director and so I was on air, we had a small staff, and I would go out and shoot high school football games. I would even shoot games at Alabama, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. When you were locked in on action and you're shooting a game you don't know what's going on. It's hard to kind of process that while you're shooting. You're just so focused on following the ball and following the action. I can definitely back that one up.
Yeah, and I was asking people what happened. They're like, "You got the camera?" I'm like, I can't see what happened. I don't see what happened because you're trying to not wobble, and you're focusing on shots.
Yeah,
and not so it was definitely hard. But I'm not. Offensive line has been concerned of so many people, and like I said, I go back into last year. We averaged 2.7 seconds per pass play. And the league average was 2.6, so we actually above it. And that's what calling 4 plays a game. So offensive line has never been my concern more than play calling and motion. And I saw all of that out of Danny Knows. Defensive line, I think we might have one of the best defensive line in the country. This upcoming season. I'm not sure about depth-wise. We got a lot of guys coming in too. But I'm not. I don't see us falling off on defense. We finished third last year, so I don't see us falling off on defense or anything like that. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. No disrespect, Florida has a lot of talent. Florida State has a lot of talent. So those are gonna be our 2 toughest games this year. Florida and Florida State. I think we can beat both of them. But the one thing I love about what Willie Taggart did is Willie Taggart went and got Kendall Browns. He knew that he was doing too much. And the heat was on him, and he did not say, "I'm going to do this my way." I'm going not say do it. I'm going to just do this only on me. He went and hired a great offensive mind. So Florida State definitely is going to. They scared me playing them up in Tallahassee this year. But I think that we can beat them. But if you look at talent wise, both of those teams I recruited us the last 3, 4, 5 years. So they definitely have the talent to beat us. It's all about coaching scheme. I just think that we have a juggernaut as our head coach. And Dan Enos is a man. He is I did not know him, but I've been watching him, listening to him, and I like having men. I like having strong men coach kids. And these guys are men. They're arrogant men. They're I will whoop your butt men. And I like that about these guys. So I just feel like I feel like they have the old U type of swag. So
there you go, Ramon. There's the take from right there at the game.
Okay. Now one question I had is, was he saying that the 2.6 or 2.7? Was he saying that was the league average or the nation average?
That was the nation's average. 2.6 is like nation's average on pass play. And so when you're giving 2.7, that means the quarterbacks are holding on to the ball too long, or people aren't getting out of their break fast enough. You can blame a lot of things. Offensive line always look bad when the quarterback gets sacked. I don't care if he's back there for 10 seconds. The offensive line looks bad. It's like when you have drop balls. It's like when a quarterback has 50% completion percentage, and that's all you look at, but you don't look at how many drops. They need to put on the quarterback, when they put the stats up, they don't put how many drops were there.
Yep.
And it annoys me because that's part of his completion percentage. I've seen 5 or 6 drop balls today, maybe 7 or 8. Each quarterback had drop balls. I'm talking about balls that hit receivers or tight ends in the hand and they drop. And that's going to go against their completion percentage. But each quarterback was over 60% today. And that's elite. 60% is elite. 65% is elite. And they still had drop passes. So I think it was a game last year when the coach was playing in, well, I think they had like 10, 11 drops that game. When that will destroy your completion percentage. So we have to look at the game in totality and not just look at, certain stats in the game. And that's what we tend to look at. And that's how we tend to judge the players, when a lot of times that's not the case.
Yeah, well, fortunately, they now have some advanced metrics, but nobody looks at them. And I can't say that I look at them. They're tough to find. Where they measure, for example, yards after contact for running backs. So it gives you a little bit better gauge on at what point is the running back getting hit versus how much yards are they gaining on their own versus just running through a wide open hole that a Mack truck can go through and running for 25 yards. And the same thing with the quarterbacks. Yeah, I would love to have some kind of, every time I have people ask me about quarterbacks and evaluating quarterbacks right after a game, I would love to go play by play and determine, did they make the right read? Were they pressured? Were they not pressured? Did they throw it on time? Where was the ball? Should it have been caught? Was it a great catch, or did the kid drop it? And you could really reevaluate quarterback statistics if you did that.
I don't understand how they have completions, but they don't have drops. That should definitely be there. If it's considered a drop, that means that ball should have been caught now.
Well, again, they have started to keep that statistic recently, but you can't find it anywhere. It's kept by somebody, but you don't find it on the major sites. That
needs to be on there. To me, that needs to be right next to their completion percentage.
Like
they have completions and they have incompletions, and right,
absolutely,
completions, incompletions, and drops should be all in the same category.
Yeah, then you could have like an adjusted completion percentage, what their completion percentage would have been had everybody caught the ball. And obviously, not everybody's going to catch the ball, but 90% of the ball should be caught. I know Hunter Renfrow of Clemson, who's known for having great hands. He had the best catch ratio the last 2 years in college football. He had 1 drop last year out of 50-some targets. And the year before, he had 0 drops out of 50 or 60 targets.
A walk on. I was talking about him today. A walk on. Walk on. Who's going to be a star in the NFL, in my opinion.
He'll probably go up there and he'll get in the slot and he'll find openings and catch 50 passes a year.
He can play. He can flat out play. And he's clutch. It's not just his catches, it's when he catches the ball on 4th and 10 in a national championship game and stuff it'll get you 12. That guy's clutch. I like Hunter. Oh my goodness, this guy's clutch.
Okay, Ramon. We all good, man? I think he left us. All right.
He might have did. We might have been talking too long for him.
So I got to give props to our guy Martin Rosario, who I'm guessing is still on the line. Martin has thrown us a couple $2 questions or just comments.
He does that all the time.
Let me go through the live chat here. I don't know how much time you have, Zoe. You can let me know. I'm going to skip this phone call. Whoever's calling in right now, just give me a second. I want to get to the live chat and any kind of questions or comments for Zoe. Probably most of it's just a conversation amongst yourselves. A lot of people saying hi, of course.
Everybody going off on George.
Yeah, George gets things stirred up. So
George is the most delusional fan I've ever seen in my life.
I can always count on Deep Rod getting in here, talking Texas football and I don't know that we've got a whole lot of questions in here. So whoever was trying to call, you can call back and we'll keep Zoe for a few more minutes or for however long he's got. But he's had a long day. So, all right.
I'm playing with my head.
All right. Hey, it's Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Who's on the line?
Hey, Mark. It's MCD Sports 4.
All right. What's going on, man?
Hey. I enjoyed that caller from last night saying he was going to try to change your mind, saying there was going to be to change your mind, saying from the 18 playoff to the 16 playoff.
Yeah, you could tell I enjoyed that too. It was a fun conversation.
How you doing, Zoe?
What's good with you? What's good with you, big homie? What's going on, man?
What you say?
I said, what's going on with you, brother? How's it going?
Can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't really hear him that well.
Yeah, so
let me bring there we go. What's going on, brother?
I'm basically calling because I was going to call last night at like 3 a.m., but then you said you weren't going to take any more calls.
Absolutely. I was online till 3 a.m., Zoe, and then I was like, okay, I'm shutting down. I'm not taking any
You were not playing, were you? 3 a.m.?
I forget who called in last night, but it was about the Jimbo Fisher saying he might go to LSU or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, why would he go to LSU if he's already in the SEC? If the SEC champion gets an automatic bid at the college football playoffs?
Jimbo might go to what the heck? I'm lost. What happened?
Well, we had a caller last night that was setting up some theoretical situations like Urban Meyer going to USC and Jimbo Fisher going to LSU, and he had another one, and asking me if they were feasible.
Okay, so we had a guy that was.
They were just made up scenarios.
We had George point 2.0 on the line, basically.
Well, it was my guy Deep Barat. He thinks these things through, and he just came up with a scenario that, yeah, LSU did have interest in Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher could have taken the LSU job the first time around, but now that he's making $1 zillion at Texas A&M and he's playing in the same division and he's got similar talent and a recruiting base of Texas talent, I don't know that he's going to have much motivation to go to LSU. And especially if Ed Ogeron continues to finish in the top 10 in the nation, they're not going to let him go.
Actually, I'm proud of Ed, even though he's an idiot. I'm proud of Ed Ogeron.
I did not think he was a good hire at LSU, but he's doing a decent job.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's gonna do everything but win a championship. I don't think he's smart enough to win a championship.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. All right, MCB4. Well, you got anything else for us? Obviously, Zoe's here right after the Miami Spring game, so that's our focus.
Yeah, well, I will say this about Miami. Two quick things. One, anybody that thinks that Florida-Miami game is going to be any bigger than a 3-touchdown win is an idiot. I think the game's going to be a one-possession game. And I'm 50-50 on picking Miami to win the Coastal. I know Zoe doesn't like that that much, but they were saying it's chat before that. But I think I'm telling you, give Virginia a chance at the Coastal.
Yeah, not at all.
50-50.
Zoe's giving you no chance, Cavaliers.
Not even close. Not even close. Let me explain. I'm gonna give you a scenario now. I want you to do me a favor. All right, if Virginia had the talent that Miami has, right? With the coach that they have, you wouldn't give Miami, and Miami had Virginia talent, you wouldn't give Miami a chance at beating Virginia. You just look up and down the roster. Don't you do me a favor? Just look up and down the roster, and you name me 3 players that you would trade out as starters from Virginia that you would do in Miami. And you won't.
I know Virginia has a better quarterback in Blaise Perkins.
You don't know he has a better quarterback. You don't know that. You think that because Mark Richt was coaching at Miami last year. But you don't know that.
I think Virginia's gonna have a better defense than Miami as well. I think
better defense. Miami was ranked number 3. What was Virginia ranked at?
What?
Miami was ranked number 3 last year, and they were 2 the year before. What was Virginia at?
I'll actually look it up. You guys can keep fighting, and I'll look it up.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I know
it's not interesting.
Miami on the road, but
it's not.
I mean,
listen to me. What was Virginia's last 5 recruiting classes?
I could barely hear him, Mark. Like I could barely hear him.
Where was Virginia's last 5 recruiting classes? If you look at talent base alone, if Virginia had the talent that Miami had, you wouldn't give Miami a chance to beat Virginia.
I mean, Virginia beat Miami last year.
Virginia beat Miami last year because of Coach Richt.
I know it was in Virginia, but
it was because of the Richt. It was because of Richt. It wasn't because Virginia beat Miami. It's because we had an in-depth coach at Miami. See, I keep telling people, don't just look. Don't look at you. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Dale Harris used to coach at Los Angeles Lakers. Dale Harris was the year that his last year coaching the LA Lakers, they got swept in the first round of playoffs. They got swept. They hired Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson came in next year and they won the NBA title 3 years in a row. Okay, or 2 years in a row. Okay, coaching matters. There's no way you're going to tell me that Virginia has nowhere near the talent Miami has. They out schemed us, just like almost every team last year out schemed us because we had Mark Richt as coach.
I forgot your stats for you. Miami was number 2 in total defense last year. Virginia was number 24 in scoring defense. Miami was number 15 in the nation, and Virginia was number 29.
So you got a better defense?
Last year, I'm talking this season.
It does. Listen to me. Talent-wise, Virginia's not even close to Miami. They're not.
I'll step in.
I agree with that, but I mean, Miami. If, in my opinion, if Miami doesn't go 10-2, that's disappointing.
Miami's going 12-0.
And
okay,
I have a strong feeling they're not going to go 10-2. I just have this strong feeling.
Well, you're basically challenging your Jedi mind tricks. You're trying to psych yourself out of Miami being good, and I'm okay with that. I'm not going to psych you into it. I just want you to keep calling in when we keep whooping butt. Start with Florida.
Okay.
Start with Florida week 0, and I particularly want you on when we whoop Virginia.
Okay.
So we know where Zoe stands. We know where you stand at this point. And the way I'm hearing this, MCD4, is basically you're on the fence between Virginia and Miami to win the Coastal Division.
Correct.
Okay. The only thing I'll say here is that there's no comparison between the talent on the two rosters, as Zoe points out. Miami's recruited basically everybody on the Miami roster has been in recruiting classes that have been ranked between about 7th in the country and 20th in the country. The Virginia recruiting classes have ranked anywhere from about 40 to 60 in the country. They've actually been in the 50s most of the time. So that's not a comparison, but that doesn't always win football games. As Zoe points out, last year, Bronco Mendenhall's an excellent head coach, did a great job at BYU. They always finished ranked, and we know what's happened to BYU since then. Now they're losing 6 and 7 games a year. So he's a really good head coach. He's done a nice job with that program. He's developed the talent, but there is a talent gap that's pretty substantial there. That doesn't mean he can't accomplish it again and beat Miami, but they're going to have to go to Miami this year. They got them at home last year in a situation in which Malik Rozier and N'Kosi Perry, that was a dog and pony show, the way Mark Richt was yanking them back and forth on and off the field against Virginia last year, trying to find some offense. So he mismanaged that situation.
That's the game that got him fired.
But in particular in that game against Virginia. But to Virginia's credit, they won the game, but it was an ugly game, like 16-13 game. And
we have 4 games in a row where we didn't score for 13 points. 12
Miami
points.
should win the division. They should win the division. That doesn't mean that they will. I'm the neutral bystander here that just gives it like it is. But Miami, based on talent, there should be no question that they should win this division.
I'm looking at Manny Diaz, and I'm looking at him after the game today. He's on the field after the game today, egging the fans on. We're sitting there screaming, Manny. He's sitting there like this here. I'm telling you, he's in the middle of the field, egging us on. We screaming his name, and he is in the middle of the field, egging us on. He's sitting there like, yeah, come on, take it all in. And I'm like, this guy is for real. He told the kids at the at one of the recruiting things. He said, you can either come to Miami and win, or you can go somewhere else and get your ass kicked by Miami.
Hey, Zoe, I'm going to help out MCD4 as well. Again, I'm trying to stay neutral, and I'm going to try to amplify both the sides. But we've got some good points. We've got some good points. Hang on just a second. We've got some good points made by Fresh 3542. I watched that game. I watched every play of that Miami-Virginia game. The one in Virginia and Miami's defense did not lose the game. Miami's offense was going 3 and out constantly. Miami's defense played an extremely good game. Virginia's defense played an extremely good game. The one disappointing aspect of Miami's defense for me in that game was it was late in the game. There's like 5 or 6 minutes left in the game, and they needed the ball back, and they couldn't get the ball back. Virginia did methodically drive the ball down the field and killed like the last 4 or 5 minutes of that game.
They were gassed.
That's true.
They had been on the field. If you look at even the weeks before, they were on the field 70% of it. They were gassed. If you have your car, you pull your car up on 93, if you run you're not going to make it from here to South Carolina. It's going to give out. They were gassed. They were on the field the whole game. They were gassed. They're not. Even though Ray Lewis said, I'm a machine jerk, they're not machines. They're not machines. It's like when you working, you work all your hours at work, and then you come to your YouTube and you're just done. You do it, but you can tell you're just going through the motions. They were done. They were gassed. I've been saying that. You think about it, they carried that offense for 2 straight years. Carried it on their backs. They were so gassed. Manny Diaz at the end of the year was talking trash. He was pissed off at the offense. That's how gassed they were. And we were shorthanded. They were
okay,
gassed.
MCD4. What's your point?
Okay. The point I want to make, I know the Miami players, I know there's been a lot of reports saying how they'll run through a brick wall for Manny Diaz. I just want to remind Zoe, he is unproven, never head coached a game in his life. So I think that's one thing to watch out for. I know
I'm not afraid of that.
Run through a wall, but I think that point has to be made. He never head coached a game.
So you have prodigies. LeBron James never played the NBA a day in his life, and when he got into the NBA, they went to the playoffs.
So you put some good points. We're going to have to wait and see that play out because yes, there's an experience factor that means something. It means something. We don't know if it means that much or if it means a lot. We also need to understand, MCD4, that Lincoln Riley took over as a first-time head coach 2 years ago and took Oklahoma to a college football playoff. Ryan,
I got another one for you. Clemson, what's quarterback? Clemson quarterback?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence never played, took college football snap and won that championship this year.
Dabo Sweeney was not a head coach before he took over at Clemson. Ryan Day, I'm going to guess that he's going to do just fine at Ohio State. Never a college football head coach. Tom Herman, first-time head coach at Houston, 13-1, then gets the job at Texas. There are certain guys that can handle it, that can do it. I understand, yes, experience does mean something, and head coaches will tell you all over the place that they were so much better coaches in year 2 or year 3. Kirby Smart, never been a head coach, goes to Georgia, second year, they go to the national championship game.
Look at, you named so many coaches. If you are a coach who understands your talent, I don't care, because you say head coach, but he's been coaching for 15 years. You say head coach. But if you are a coach, I would rather be a first-year head coach with talent than a 10-year head coach with no talent. Okay? And that's just, it takes talent. It takes both to win, but you will not win a national championship without talent. It just will not happen.
I don't care how great of a head coach.
Yeah, I understand this point, but like I say, I'm not. Last year I wasn't this cocky because of who we had at head coach. I'm just, listen to me. When we hired Manny Diaz, I booed the hire. I booed it. I did not want him. I looked at what he did at Texas and I was like, this makes no sense. I do not want this guy. And he made me do a total 180 in 1 year. But no, my bad. And by week 5 of that first year. You know what I'm saying? Because he understands Miami. He's born and raised in Miami. He understands what it takes to win there. And sometimes it's not just always about your coaching ability as a head coach. It's the way you understand your players. Because he has a great offensive coordinator. Okay? He's not worrying about the offense. He's not concerned about the offense. He brought his guy in as a defensive coordinator. He's going to be paying more attention to defense out of the ball. If Mark Richt would have had an offensive coordinator, he would still have a job right now. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm not concerned about Manny. There were teams out there. He got a head coaching job and quit to come back to Miami. I'm not at all concerned about what Manny Diaz is going to do at Miami. I feel like he's going to be great for Miami.
All right, MCD4. One more point here. What you got?
Oh, this is Deeper Rod.
Oh, Deeper Rod. I thought MCD4 was calling us back. Deeper Rod, what you got? And no more 32-minute phone calls. So I'm instituting a rule here at Mark Rogers TV. I don't know how long.
What's up,
do you take calls, Zoe? You don't take calls,
sometimes,
right?
and sometimes I've tagged calls over 40 minutes. I'd be like, I
have to do that. I have to figure something out there because I enjoy the conversation, but at the same time, it usually puts the live stream to sleep in the live chat, and everybody complains about somebody's been on the line for 20 minutes, and so I'm going to have to limit these calls. Anyway, Deeper Rod, what you got?
Okay, so I just wanted to kind of get Zoe's perspective on Miami. Not necessarily this year. I'm just going to be very honest. I think that Miami will make the ACC championship game. They should win the Coastal, but they'll lose very badly to Clemson.
Won't lose badly.
Well, I guess the more interesting question that I have is that, where do you think Miami will be in terms of actually winning the ACC down the line?
Do you think it's a 1-year process, 2-year process, 3-year process? I'm looking at like the current recruiting that Miami is kind of doing right now, and I look at like the fact that they're actually starting to develop some very elite talent in the system from high school. Particularly this kid Jake Garcia. He is the number 1 quarterback, one of the number 1 or number 2 quarterbacks in the 2021 class. So similar to like how Clemson has Trevor Lawrence. I think that Miami lands a kid like Jake Garcia, develops an offense around him. I think that they could potentially upset Clemson in 2 years. But I just wanted to get your perspective on that.
I'm actually on track with you on basically. I don't think we can beat Clemson. I think they have the Sith Lord and Trevor Lawrence as the quarterback until he goes on to take over the whole starship, or whatever, the Death Star. Whatever he's going to be, Darth Vader. So whatever he's going to be until he leaves, we're going to have trouble beating that guy. That guy is unbelievable. I've never seen a talent like him. So I believe we can play them close, but they blew out Alabama. So that's not an easy pill. So I don't see us beating Clemson as long as Trevor Lawrence is there. Not just me being honest. It's just me being a straight up football fan, not taking my Miami glasses off. But
Do you
I believe
think Miami will overtake
yes.
Clemson
Yes.
within 2 years?
Yes, I believe we can easily overtake Clemson for one reason. Where we're located at. For that reason alone, where we're located at. And it takes nothing away from Dabo, because Dabo is he's a top. He could be considered the best coach in college football right now. Even though Nick Saban has more championships right now, with that win, he could be considered the best coach in college football today.
Yep.
Because of they didn't just beat Alabama. They beat the snot out. Nick Saban's still waking up like, did they score again? That's what he's saying. That's what Nick Saban. Every night he wakes up is, did they score again? So, but the thing about it is, I think we can overtake them talent-wise. But they were less talented than Alabama. They're never a top 3 recruiting class. So to out-coach him is going to be tough.
Follow recruiting, but
I'm not. He's the coach for the exception. He's an exception coach. You can have the number 1 recruiting class in the nation. He can have the number 15 recruiting class in the nation. He will beat you. Dabo will beat you.
Yeah,
so overtake them recruiting. Yeah, beating them on the field is going to be a different story.
So at least 2 to 3 years, I feel like. It's not going to happen next year unless something magical happens. But at least 2 to 3 years is probably what you're looking at.
But the one thing I do love about Manny is he's unapologetic. He is a guy who is going to go after you, and that's all you need. That he's unapologetic. He's going to go after you, and that's how Dabo was. He took his bumps and he lost 5 years in a row to South Carolina. 5 years in a row he lost to South Carolina. The Gamecocks. He lost 5 straight years. Look at him right now.
It's a good point.
How do you feel about the quarterback situation? That's the last
listen,
the quarterback situation of Miami.
If Nikolsky Perry was on Ohio State.
Whoa. I don't think we deeper out. I don't think you can hear Zoe. Zoe's talking, you're talking, everybody's talking at the same time. And I don't know that deeper rod probably can't hear. So I think he's got a question about the quarterbacks. Zoe did address the quarterbacks. I don't know if you heard that, but he addressed everything that he saw today and the way they've progressed throughout the spring. So did he have a particular question, Deeper Rot?
Yeah, it was more along the lines of future quarterbacks. Part of the reason why Clemson was such a successful team is because they've been able to land the number 1 quarterback. Not only last cycle, but they were also very elite under Deshaun Watson. How do you see, I guess, future quarterback recruiting at Miami? And do you think that they would be able to recruit at an elite level like at Clemson or Texas or Washington?
Yes.
Future quarterbacks that are not projected. And Jake Garcia, that's a big name I want to mention. Jake Garcia, I think, is the number 1 or number 2 quarterback.
Yeah, it's a question on
class.
Yeah, so Deeper Rod, you already talked about Jake Garcia.
It's a question. You got to ask me a question.
spinning our
I'm
wheels
getting
about the
lost.
quarterback position in Miami for the next 2 or 3 years. We've been
All right, I'm
talking
gonna
about
answer
this.
that question for you. We have coaches now that have put their foot in Texas. We have a young guy that I talked to today. I forgot the young man's name, but I actually have him on my Facebook. I took a picture with him and his father, and he'll be in June, and he is from Texas. Miami decided to put their foothold in Texas. So that's what they've done. So do I believe we'll have the quarterbacks that Clemson had? Do I believe we'll have the quarterback Peyton Machado? Peyton Machado is from Texas. I talked to his father today. His father had a long conversation today. He said the foothold that Miami is starting to put in Texas is unreal. So yes, and especially at the quarterback situation, because we know a lot of greats come from Texas and Georgia. So I feel like Manny is building for now and for the future with his recruiting. So yes, I believe that we'll be able to recruit great quarterbacks at Miami. We used to be known as quarterback U. We used to be known as running back U. We've been known as DB U. We've been known as linebacker DL. Miami will be able to recruit as long as Miami. ESPN wants Miami to be good. It's just a fact. If you look at what was the highest rated game in college football history, Miami Notre Dame 2 years ago. They want Miami because Miami brings that. So and Miami's going to be on the national stage. Miami Notre Dame was the highest rated college game in college football history.
In history.
In history, go look it up. That was the highest rate. That was the highest watched.
Oh, come on, Zoe.
Game. It was. They said at the time. It was the. Okay. That's what they said.
I'm not going to argue it, but I am.
I'm going to try to pull that up.
History.
That's what they say. I'm just going by what they said. I'm just going by what was said. So yeah. I'll pull it up and try to correct it, but I'm going by what was said. Now I'm just going by what was said. So but Miami, anytime Miami is good, they're on TV. They're always going to be a national team. So I'm not worried about recruiting quarterbacks. But I'm going to try to pull this up right now. I'm going to try to pull it up.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely got my perspective. I don't have any other questions regarding Miami. But I do want to end on this note. I do think that Miami could challenge Clemson, not this year, but next year, depending on how Tate Martell is this year. I don't think he's as good as obviously Trevor Lawrence, but we don't know how good.
Tate Martell's not. He's not as good as he's not Nicosi.
He hasn't played yet.
Yeah, and he may not get to play if he keeps playing like this in camp. All right, Deeper Rod, thanks for the call. We appreciate it, man.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye. All right. Yeah, so I work in the industry. I work in the industry. I follow these things, and I keep a note on these things. And I believe that was a highly rated game, and for that particular time slot for that particular season. But in the history of college football, and first of all, we're obviously taking out playoff games and championship games and Rose Bowl games, and you can't even count those. So we're talking about regular season games. We have to be.
I don't know. All I know is they said it was the highest rated. It was the most highly watched college game. I don't know if it was 10 years, 5 years, but I'm trying to look it up. I'm trying to look up highly. I'm just going by what was said. Like I say, that's not an insight. I'm just going by what I heard.
Yeah,
and it was said either during the game or after that game.
Well, it wouldn't have been said during the game because
it might have been after that game. Well, I mean, they do those metrics of who's watching now or stuff like that. I don't know.
It might have been the most streamed game online because that was just starting to come into play at that point. That's a possibility, but that certainly was not the highest rated game in the history of college football.
Well, I don't know, but it might have been the most streamed. I have no idea, but that's what was said during that game or right after that game. It was said during or right after that game.
Okay.
It was Notre Dame.
Maybe I'll shoot a video on this, not specifically about the game, but I'll try to get some metrics on the highest rated games of all time. I know for this past season that for the top 10 games in college football, I believe every game was either a Big Ten or an SEC game. Every game involved Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, or LSU. Almost every game in the top 10, if not every game in the top 10. In the regular season, this past season. Now, that game you're talking about was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
2017. Yeah. I know it's a very highly rated game. There's no question about that.
I'm just going by what I heard that year. So I might have heard it wrong, but it was definitely something said like that. So.
All right, man. As expected, we've been on here for about an hour and 10 minutes. And of course, we've got the most people that we've had on right this second at 126. So it takes a while for people to find us and get locked in. And then right about the time we're ready to wrap up is when we've got the biggest crowd online, 127. So here's the deal. I got to take a little bit of a timeout. I think you guys can appreciate from watching television on a regular basis, from watching the likes of sports networks, that about 30% of their time is spent promoting. I spend about 1% of my time promoting. So you get about 60 minutes and then you get about 1 minute of promotion. Maybe is usually more like 15 or 20 seconds. So you're going to have to listen to this. If you want this channel to continue and grow and build towards something bigger and better, then please like the videos. If you truly don't have a dollar to spare, and I said this last night, and I truly mean this, if you do not, I don't know what your financial situation is. If you don't have a dollar or two to spare, I am extremely sorry. And you can support the channel by liking the videos, by commenting. If you got a couple bucks to spare, a cup of coffee per month, then please contribute to the channel. You can do that in the super chat. You can not spend an extra dime actually by grabbing the Amazon link of any of the description sections. Go to any of the description sections of any of the videos. You grab the Amazon link. You don't spend an extra penny, but you will help support the channel by doing your regular Amazon shopping using one of the links that we provide. We've got a service there at Patreon. We built a page. We've done one exclusive live stream. I hope to do very many more. And I'm trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to frame the Patreon page and provide specific content there. But I think of it more like this. Regardless of what I put on Patreon, if I deliver quality content on a regular basis, which means every day, which means like 150 to 160 videos per month, I don't know who else does that, covering college football.
Nobody in the world covering nothing but you. You are a madman. You don't sleep. I don't. You have a cough in the living room or something. You don't sleep. I don't know what you be doing. I have no idea how you do it. And I think the most disappointing thing for me in all college, me as a blogger, is I watch my subscriber list every day, and I don't understand how you're not at 100,000 subscribers. To me, it's ridiculous that you're not at 100,000 subscribers, because I cover one team and you cover everybody. And people, I don't care what nobody say, people don't understand. This is tough. You got people. You have 118 people on now, like you say, right? 100 and what? How many on right now? 107. 107. You have 117 people on. 107 people right now, right? And we've been doing it for an hour and a half, and you've covered more than one thing today. You know what I'm saying? We've been working. I know I've been up since 8 o'clock this morning working, and it's almost 12-hour day.
Absolutely. Like this is one of my off days from work. I'm finding a car for my daughter. I've cut a Penn State video, an Indiana video, and a college football playoff video, and also done this live stream. So the last thing I'll say about this, and to Zoe's point, is do you have anybody that follows you and their handle is Grune, Grune? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah.
Okay. So he gets on here all the time, and I love it because he watches, he comments, and so forth. As soon as I mentioned I was on Patreon, he threw a fit. It was like I committed murder or something. It was just the worst thing in the world. And I basically told him, it's none of your business. You don't have to go on Patreon. Continue to watch me here. I don't know what you're complaining about. I'm trying to run a business. So he continues to complain about this. And I basically said, here's the deal. He made a comment at one point to say, why would I go on Patreon and give you $5 a month when I can watch all the college football content I want to right here for free? And I said, absolutely. You can take that stance. You can say, why would I go over there and spend $5 when I can catch 150 videos a month right here? Why in the world would I do that? And I said, absolutely. You can look at it that way, or you can look at it this way. I get 150 videos per month, and I could help Mark out by giving him $5 a month, and I get
Oh my
150
what?
videos. Plus, I can keep it going, and it may not stop because I contributed. Otherwise, it may stop. You know, so
I tell you what, they'll miss you when you're gone. It's the guy that's in the chat right now, G1. I want you, G1. I want you to find a way to get in contact with Mark Rogers. I think he can help you out a lot more.
I don't know.
I think he can help you save a lot of money.
All right, would love it.
I think G1 can help you save a lot of money. For real, G1, I need you to get in touch with Mark. I talked to him today. He was at the game today, and he has a. I think he help you save a lot of money.
And as always, so if there's anything I can do for you,
to Geico.
And so you know that if there's anything I can do for you, you know all you need to do is call or text.
Oh yeah, that's why I want you to talk, because this guy's he's for real. He's about his business, and he helped me out today, and I really feel it. And I think that he can help you out on some things, and he's a good guy. But people don't. It's definitely a it's a business, and it's a. I tell you what, they won't question any ESPN analyst or Fox News analyst or MSNBC analyst, and there'll be 1 million people streaming that fight tonight for $100. Who my favorite fighter in the world, Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford is the best fighter pound for pound in the world, and that's my favorite fighter right now. And I'm gonna go over to the bar and watch that fight. But people don't complain about stuff like that. If you and I and Coop and Ken and Shay, if we were to all stop doing this YouTube stuff, and then they had to go back to paying 247 Sports for their content, they would be mad. They would be mad. If we went on strike for a month in the middle of the football season, the same people in the chat saying would go crazy.
Well, I think they would miss you. I don't know that a whole lot of people are going to miss me. I think I would disappear. And
no, they would. They would. You have how many thousand subscribers right now? You don't think they would be like, oh my gosh, what happened to Mark? Mark, come back. It would happen. It happened with All About You 83. When he stopped doing videos, everybody went crazy. Like, why did you stop? And when he came back, it's like, thank you. You know, because he brings something. We're not asking for a lot. I had over 1,000 people in the chat in the live stream today. I said, now just imagine if everybody donated $1, how much that would help me out. $1.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. We're talking about basically crowdfunding or crowdsourcing, when everybody just gives a little bit, and it's a lot of people, and it helps us tremendously. It doesn't hurts you about this much. It basically doesn't even. It's lost in the sea. It's not even an afterthought. But to us, you add it all up, and then we can build the channel.
Absolutely. We can give you more. You actually, Mark, I don't know if you've ever done it, but I've actually paid for inside scoops, inside sources, to give people stuff that they can't get from 247 Sports. But what people don't realize is, if you work for a big organization, they won't allow you to release certain stuff, even if they know it's 100% true, until it's 1,000,000% confirmed. When you work for yourself, you can take that risk. So I can give you like what I did with the Mark Rick situation, when I got that phone call and said that after the Virginia game, it was, if you go back, I did that video right after the Virginia game, because I got a phone call right after the Virginia game the next day that said Mark Rogers, said Mark, they had a meeting with Mark Rick, and that Mark Rick, they told Mark Rick that he would be that if he didn't fire his son and hire an office coordinator, he would be fired at the end of the season. I was able to take that risk because I work for me. So only person I can make look bad is me. If my source was wrong, I would not throw my source under the bus. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was told, and I was able to take that risk. And by taking that risk, I was actually right. But at the end of the day, I didn't have to wait. 247 Sports ended up breaking it 2 weeks after I broke it, because they had to go through so many different sources to make sure that meeting had happened. You know what I'm saying? With me, I didn't have to go through nobody. All I had to go through was me. But you have to get inside, and you have to understand people, and sometimes you have to pay for stuff like that.
So somebody on here. Somebody on here, D. Rev Lee, who I've noticed is watching me recently, and I appreciate that. I haven't seen his handle before, just here in the last
week. He's on my channel a lot.
Okay, so he's complaining that we're spending 30 minutes talking about donations, and I pointed out to him that if you watch anything,
D-Rev Lee says it all the time.
Pick any of your national broadcasters or any game, studio shows, anything, and really pay attention to what you're watching. Watch Sports Center, and I'm not talking about just the commercial breaks. That's one thing, the 5-minute commercial breaks, but even within the highlights and everything else, all the promotions about. Watch the NBA game Friday night. Watch this, watch that. They're promoting like 30 or 40% of what you're watching is promotion. I get on here for like 2 hours and don't say anything, but just give you college football. So I can take a break every 20 minutes or so and give you 30 seconds of promotion. You can handle that.
Or 2 minutes. He's not.
Yes.
Hey, D-Rev Lee, I have a question. Thank you for the $10 donation, Land Found.
Thank you.
Hey, D-Rev Lee, I have a question for you. Okay, what's the best way we can do? What is the best way we can ask for donations without taking up time? What is the best way we can do it? That's my question for you. And when you give me that answer, I'm going to try it. Once you answer that, I'm going to try it because I'm all for it. If I don't have to, I can guarantee you Mark doesn't want to ask for donations just like I don't.
Oh, I hate it.
So give me the best way that we do not have to ask for, because like I said, I've been doing this for going on 12 hours today. Mark's been doing this probably since last night. He got 3 hours of sleep and back on. And so, I mean, what is the best way? Because it is not easy. I would love for you to do a channel and see how hard it is to grow your channel. You spend money growing your channel. I spend money advertising on other pages because sometimes other pages might charge you to go to their page and advertise. So give me the best way. I remember giving how many chains did I give away last year, Mark? I mean, how many of these chains did we give away?
Yeah, I don't know.
We did some giveaways for your channel. We did some giveaways for my channel. We've helped each other out tremendously, but it's always cost us money. So you give me he hasn't answered that question for me yet. So you give me a way, and I'll most definitely try that. But we've talked about football since we've been on for an hour. How long now?
About an hour and 20 minutes plus.
And we talked about football for the first hour and 15.
Yeah, I'll get on here, Zoe, and I'll be on here for 2 hours talking football. And I got my one little 12-second snippet of I'll just rip off real quick, go to Amazon, go to Patreon, blah, 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 like the videos. It'll take me all of about 12 seconds to say that. And then I'll keep moving on and I'll talk football for the next 30 minutes. And then I'll just, again, stop for about 10 or 15 seconds just to let people know. And believe me, the content to promotion ratio that we do between Zoe and myself isn't anywhere close to anywhere else that you'll find, where 30-40% of the time they are promoting themselves. You may not realize it, but they're promoting their content 30 to 40% of the time. We do it about 1% of the time.
1% of the time. I'll tell you what, D-Rev Lee came with a good idea. I'm thinking you're saying have a ticker. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a ticker that goes across my screen, and I'm going to have another thing I'm going to do for you, Mark. I'm going to have I'm going to talk with Coop today, and I want you to set up OBS on your channel. I want you to set up OBS, that way you can have the ticker and everything. And he did mine for me. Coop is amazing.
I got to tell you, so this is what I'm looking at right now. I've picked out a new camera, new mic. And also there's some production services that you can stream online that would help me do all that. Now, I'm not going to know how to use it. It's a learning curve. I'm going to have to teach myself.
That's why I say I'm going to have Coop give you, because this is what he does. He does for a living. He got on my channel, on my thing last week, and I'm talking to him. He's teaching me, and he's just running through, and I'm like, oh my God, he's doing this, that. This is what he does for a living. Coop is amazing. Goodness gracious, that kid is wow. So I'm going to have him call you that way, because I'm going to have the ticker going across for donation and everything. So
I would love to have that as well.
It'll just go across.
Hey, Roger, we appreciate the donation as well. Land Found, and who else chipped in? Dijon McDonald. Do you know Dijon? I don't. But
yeah, I've seen him
with a couple bucks, so we appreciate it. And this is not, you guys have options to watch all sorts of different people and listen to different people. And so it's not surprising that once we stopped talking football, we went from 127 to 87 watching. But, we have to do this from time to time. And again, I know Zoe's the same, and I pretty much will deliver an hour straight of football, and then I'll pop in 10 or 15 seconds of promotion. So I think you guys will
another
handle
thing.
that.
Another thing, if you guys don't want to talk about it, donate $1. And one more thing, ask some questions. Call in, because sometimes we've discussed everything about the game today. We've discussed so many different things about the game. So if you guys want, I mean, ask a question. Don't let George be the only one that's in the chat really asking questions.
And so, with all the fun we had with George and with you guys going back and forth, I definitely have to give George some props.
I love George.
I got to let you know, because right after that, he jumped on and basically said, we love Zoe and we love Mark. Like the video. He's always encouraging people to like the videos, because he thinks it's ridiculous when I got a video that's got 1,000 views and it's got like 60 likes. And he's like, what's wrong with you people? Do you want this to continue? You got to like the videos. That's one thing that helps.
I love George. I'm gonna try to find a way to get him back on my channel. I did block him. He knows why. He knows why. I think he had a little bit too much sauce in him one night.
Well, yeah, and then I heard about it. He started blasting me, and I was like, "What did I do?" I didn't even know what was going on, because I
told George he needs to calm down a little bit, because I am one of those guys that, Mark, I'm one of them guys, if I'm out with you and someone says something to you before you hit them, I'm gonna hit them. I'm one of those guys, so I don't take a lot of I don't take kindly to people from those parts. I don't take kindly from people from those parts talking. I be ready to. I get real itchy. Like I said, even on like you and me on Facebook, people don't understand. Me and Mark is like total opposites, and I love him like a brother. And we are total opposites. We are White Man Can't Jump. We are Wesley Snipes and Woody Harris. We are just total opposites, and that's what I love about him so much, is that I can vibe with somebody who is on a totally different lane than me, and we can vibe. So I've never had that experience with anybody, like serious, like that.
Exactly.
That somebody is just totally different.
I have made posts and made comments back to posts that Zoe has put on Facebook, that 19 out of every 20 people would unfriend me, and they're not mean-spirited in any way. It's just in complete conflict and contrast to whatever Zoe point he made about a social issue or a specific person or whatever. And I'll go there and I can do it confidently, knowing, okay, I'll do it respectfully, but at the same time, I'm going to let him know and everybody else, this is exactly what I feel about this situation or this person. And I'll put it out there. And most people would just blast me, wipe me off, unfriend me, block me. And that's not Zoe and I.
Nah, and if somebody else says something disrespectful, I'm like, you don't know Mark. Mark is speaking from his heart. He's not. No, we're not going to do that, because it's a respect level. You earned that. So I mean, Nikolsky moved the ball better. D-Rev. Nikolsky definitely did a better. But at the end of the day, D-Rev, Tate Martell looked amazing. I cannot take anything from that kid. Oh my. Yo, I went from a guy who despised the level of I still despise, and I told his father this. I despise the hype that he came in with. I did not like it, because it showed disrespect to the other quarterbacks on the team. So, but I think that hopefully his father won't get mad at me for saying this. But his father was saying that his mother can see that he was down, because he felt like the weight of the world was on his shoulders with the level of what he came in with. And a lot of that he brought on himself because of how cocky he was. So for him to humble himself and go from what he did last week to this week, it's not just his playing skills. I feel like his mindset has changed. He's grown. He has grown up, and that guy played amazing today. And I would not be upset if he won the job.
So I'm laughing because I just looked at this comment that George just made. He said, everybody subscribe to Alonzo1219 and Mark Rogers and send them $10 on the live chat so they can buy a better microphone.
You know what you remember? Now that's me. That's not Mark. I don't have my earbuds in. So that's me. That's not Mark. But Mark, remember I was telling you about the little Bluetooth thing on Amazon? You need to send me your address so I can send you one because I have about 4. Now where you can sit it down and it'll echo out. It remember I have.
Are you talking about the phone calls?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, if you could just
no,
send me a
if
link
you can't
to it.
hear me, it's my fault because I don't have my setup here today.
Oh, we can hear you.
I have
just
my
fine.
laptop.
We can hear you just fine. You are just fine. It was just when I had the phone calls and because of my rigged up stupid little setup here.
No, it's not just
that
setup. Your setup is fine. I'm telling you, all you need is hold on one second.
Well, they have applications and production software where you can actually take phone calls in the right way through the audio and not through an actual phone. And that's what I'm going to be doing here.
All you need is one of these. All you need is one of these right here. And you sit it down in front of your microphone and you turn the volume up. And when I say I started using this and everybody can hear, everybody can. And they're like $8, $10 on Amazon. And I sit it down. I don't even look at my phone is not held to the microphone anymore. I sit it down and it's loud as I don't know what.
So do this for me. Just send me a link to one of those. Just send me the link because I got to make a big purchase anyway. I got to get the camera and different mic and a few other things that go.
You don't need a new mic. Nothing wrong with your mic.
I don't like my mic. There are better mics, and then I need an interface. That
I'm about to say, just get the cover for your software. Get the cover for your mic. The screen. Yeah, it's not your mic. It's because I have that same mic.
I don't like it,
but I have a screen on mine.
No, I want like a crane. I want like you see like Colin Cowherd, like the big crane, the radio mic.
Yeah, but that's not the mic. That's the crane. But you need the screen, the filter screen. You need because the mic is fine. I have that same mic. If you can take a filter screen, it helps filter out all the background.
The problem with this mic is it's on a stand and it's off to the side. So if I move my head, I got to speak directly into the mic. That's the way it's most effective, and I can't.
That's what the screen is for. That's what the screen is for. I also have a soundboard. I have a little sound. I'm gonna send you everything that I have. I'm gonna send you everything that I have, and it's real clear. I'm telling you, it's you don't have to spend a lot of money. I was gonna spend a lot of money, and this thing right here is amazing. I swear to you, this little thing is amazing. I put this down by my microphone and turn up loud, and you hear every phone call. Y'all see what we're talking about now? We're talking about spending money. Just so that just because George said that y'all can't hear us, we're talking about ways to spend money so you can hear us better.
And for all the people that wanted me to go down to the Miami spring game, I'll go down to the Miami, Florida game, and you guys can help me out and help me get there as well. That would
you coming to the Miami, Florida game, but you're just not going to the game. You're coming to the family.
I got to think that one over. I got to think it through.
I'm going to pay for you to come down here, and you're going to the family.
You're not. I want you at for anything. So I
want you at the family game.
That's not the point. It's just I want to come out of that with as much coverage as I can because I need that to be a big splash into next season.
That's why we're gonna go to the tailgate. You know what I learned all of the coverages at Mark at the tailgate. I learned that everything is at the tailgate because at the game, right? If whatever section you are seated in is where you're gonna be at. So you're not gonna get like.
True. I'm not going to be able to watch the game. I hate going to football games and trying to watch the game. The game you can't see. You got no replays. You got nothing. True. I hate
I'm saying, but like the way you're going to grow your network is by being out there with the fan base, not being in the stadium with the fan base.
Well, this is true. This is true.
Because look at
my one incentive.
They're not paying no attention to you. I've never gotten a subscriber inside the stadium.
My one incentive to go into the stadium was to be able to go into the locker room and get interviews after the game.
That's what I'm still trying to do. But you know what they do? They limit them to Canes or Ass Kiss. And I call them Canes or Ass Kiss because that's what they do. Canes or Access. They limit the amount of people that can go inside that. You can go on the field. You can do all. But getting in that locker room is one of the hardest things to do. And even if you get in there, you can't ask questions. They only allow certain people to ask questions. And to be honest with you, I would probably, the way I talk about Canes all last kids, I would probably punk out towards Manny because I feel that way about Manny. I feel so positive about Manny that he would be able to make a few more mistakes than I would allow Mark Rick to make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we all have a favorite. So the mistake, if he made some mistakes early on, I would give credence to those before I would give him to Mark Richt, because I've seen how Mark Richt underperformed before. Now, after a while, I would get aggravated, but it's like you could say something to me and I'd be like, that's Mark. And then somebody said the exact same way that I don't, the exact same way that you said it, that I don't like, and they're getting cursed out. they're getting, Long, so you a hypocrite. Yep, I'm being hypocritical because I like Mark. I don't like you. How about that? So that, I mean, hey, it is what it is.
All right, Zoe, you probably never heard me do this, but anytime I see somebody on the live chat that I've never seen their handle before, I've got to give them a nice welcome. So, Ghost AAD.
I was saying the same thing.
Welcome to Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. So glad to have you. Would love to know who you root for. I'm guessing it's Miami. How long you've been watching? How you found me? So thanks.
Is your name Alonzo Anthony Oliver or something? AAO. His name must be Alonzo Anthony Oliver. Who do you think? He may be a long lost brother of mine. He look like is that a police officer uniform?
We got to give.
He said, funny how George telling people to give money and won't do it. And won't keep. I'm sorry. I was Martin is, I swear Martin will sit on my channel and pay to say whatever he wants. I love Martin. Martin don't care.
Whatever the incentive is, Martin, I love it. If it's just so it's big and bold and in a color so everybody can see it, hey, whatever it takes. Martin has stepped up a few times, but that's a tremendous comment. If anybody's missed that, Martin here is saying on the super chat, funny how George is telling people to give money for support, yet he won't do it. The delusion with this man actions, George actions, whatever that means.
I've told George that. That's one thing I told George. I've never seen it. George never donated $1 to my channel, and George said something about alcohol or something. I said, I'll buy you some beer. I'll buy you some beer. George, he got you on that one, George. I'm sorry he got you on that one.
Dennis Wilson finally on the line. We enjoyed Dennis getting on here. I'm sure he watches you on a regular basis.
He said he was one of my first subscribers.
Okay.
You know what? You were. You haven't. He hasn't been on the channel in a while, but now he's where he was. He was.
Let me ask you this, though. Have you been able to figure this out? So one time I was coming up on a milestone, maybe it was 5,000 subscribers, whatever it was. And I wanted to find a list of my subscribers, which you can, but it takes forever to go page by page by page by page. I wanted to list them so I could know who was my first subscriber, second subscriber. I wanted to look at those people.
You know how you do that? The best way to do that is go to your first video. And you can tell. You can basically tell who commented, who was your first couple of subscribers. Just go to your first couple of videos.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell it for sure. Just because somebody
it doesn't tell it for sure, but it's going to put it in the ballpark. Your first couple of videos, you're only going to have you're going to have 10 people comment.
Yeah, but the thing is you can actually go, and I'm sure you've done this, and you can go to your subscriber page and it'll show you a list of your subscribers. But when you got almost 10,000, you can't go back.
I know who almost my first 5 were. Outside of my wife, my daughters, and myself, I almost know who my first 5 were. Because I always try to mention that. So, yeah, I basically know who almost my first 5 were. What in the world is that? What was that?
Dennis was sick of seeing Florida State next to Miami.
That's supposed to be. Who said that?
That was Dennis.
That's supposed to be there. Florida State and Miami is supposed to be side by side. Like Ohio State and Michigan is supposed to be side by side. I'm not understanding that.
So somebody made a request last night for me to move a helmet, which I accommodated them. And then I said, I will do that one time every live stream. If somebody's got a helmet request to switch on the display, I will do it.
I got a request then. I want to take Miami off their first level and put on their second level beside Clemson. Move Michigan up. That's my request. No, those are the three juggernauts in the ACC side by side.
Yeah, you got the ACC there in the middle. This has been a good live stream. Zoe, this is all
It's
because
fun.
of you, because I would not have been able to cover I would have probably just done a ton of online work, research to figure out what happened at the game, and I would have regurgitated what other people had to say.
I recorded, it's not the greatest film. I recorded the game live, and the first half got 6,100 views, and the second half has 2,400 views.
Wow. And that's on your YouTube channel?
Yeah. I recorded the whole game live. You can go over there right now and look. You will see. Then Nikosi Perry was coming from the first half. And I had a guy ask me. I'm gonna say his name because it really pissed me off. It really pissed me off. And I'm gonna say his name. I don't care if he gets mad at me. Kenny Lauderdale asked me. And this is after me driving through a tornado, because a tornado touched down on my way here. Had to stop, pull over, go in a building. We heard the tornado come by us. I got back on the interstate, and as I'm going down the interstate, about a mile and a half of the interstate, you can see where the tornado touched down, going across the interstate and flipped over a car and trees and everything. Still came to Orlando. All right. And the question that was asked of me by Kenny Lauderdale was, why Perry for a photo and why not a logo? Now, instead of saying appreciate the video, you asked me, didn't donate $1. You asked me a question like that. So my response to him was, for real, anything else to complain about? Because, and then I'm gonna tell him, when you have your computer, I record on my tablet. When you upload a thumbnail, it only can be a thumbnail that's already on your tablet. As I'm going live, I didn't have any Miami pictures on my tablet. Only thing I had on my tablet was Nikosi Perry. So that's the thumbnail I used, was Nikosi Perry's thumbnail. That picture, that's the only Miami picture I had on my tablet. This is a new Samsung Tab S4. I don't have no pictures on this tablet. So I use that as a thumbnail. But he asked me why. Instead of saying, man, appreciate the stream, I get to watch the stream and I'm at home. I'm not at the game, I'm at home. I get to watch the stream. This type of BS that gets me mad. That's those type of things that gets me really aggravated. It's when you ask stupid questions like that. Instead of saying, appreciate the stream, I didn't donate $1, but appreciate the stream. Thank you. Kenny Lauderdale. So yeah, I called you out on Mark Rogers. You don't like it? See me when you see me. I don't care. Because to me, that's stupid. I'm serious. That's really an aggravating. That's something you don't want to respond to. Like, for real, serious? You ask me a question like that instead of saying thank you for the stream. And I had guys on I had the trolls on, and I was blocking them one by one. And, it's too choppy, block. It's too block.
See again, if anybody out there, and obviously it's easier to hold a camera today than it was. I was referencing when I was back in the late 90s.
I didn't have my tripod.
Like a full gear, 50 pounds and strapped around me and everything else going to football games. But still, stand there for 2 or 3 hours holding a camera when Zoe could have had a better time just hanging out, watching the game, enjoying the game, rather than trying to focus on follow the ball and follow the action and record
eating
the
and drinking
game
for free, because people will offer me drink. I was messing with somebody that look, but they will offer me drinks, and I could have been eating and drinking for free and not recording nothing. But I did this, or I could have been home and enjoying my 4-day weekend. So I mean, most definitely, it's and it paid off for me today, because I gained over 250 subscribers today.
Woo-wee.
I went from 7,340 to 7,519.
You were coming after me.
I actually know you shot past me like I was standing still. One day I looked and said, "Damn, Mark!" I did a what's name? I said, "Congratulations," because I want to see you as the #1 college football guy. I don't think people remember. I'm gonna take credit for this one. I don't think people remember me calling me saying you are the voice of college football. And I said, you need to start so you are the voice of college football. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I said, Mark, why not? That's who you are. You the voice for all of us, and do it. That's you. That's who you are. So I want to see you at 100,000.
No, I'm trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the month.
Huh?
I'm trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the month is the goal.
And my goal for you is 100,000. I want to see you at 100,000. I swear. I want you to, since you're not going to just do Ohio State, you're not going to do Ohio State video. I want you to at least do the Ohio State, Michigan. all your Wolverine stuff, all your Ohio State stuff. I want you to dedicate that a whole week to Ohio State, Michigan. I want that whole. I really do, because I swear that is one of the biggest games in all of sports, not just college football, all of American sports. And I think that'll help you, because you're going to get Michigan fans, you're going to get Ohio State fans. I don't understand why you should, with the Ohio State fan base. I'm going to talk trash about Ohio State, because there's no reason why you should.
We've got our man.
You should be getting.
We've got our man Justin Firm right here, who says Mark is definitely the voice of college football. I appreciate that. So if anybody's in the live stream and they've not subscribed to Zoe, Alonzo1219, and I would expect that if you love college football, that you would lock it in here as well and subscribe to Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. All there is to it.
Yeah, Mark is definitely Mark is definitely the voice of college football, man. And just show your support for Mark, because he, like I said, it's been times where people have come after me on Mark's show. Alonzo's not knowledgeable, this and that, and Mark is defending Mark. And Mark came at me and asked me to come on when I was under 1,000 subscribers, and was like, I like what you do, so come on. And I would never tell you I'm the most knowledgeable guy, but you're not going to find anybody like me. I can tell you that. I'm different, and I'm passionate about this program. And I love people. First and foremost, I love people. I'm saved. I'm a Christian. I love people. I might not sound like one all the time, but I love people. I love God. And I love University of Miami. I have a passion for the University of Miami. And that's what it's all about to me. And I love what Mark does. He gives everybody a fair. Mark has went off on me a couple of times on this show, like lightly, has shot me down a couple of times, like, so for real. No. So it's not, hey, I'm just telling you, he's straight up guy. He's just a straight up guy. You have to respect that. If you don't respect it, then you just, I don't know what's wrong with you. Me, on the other hand, I curse you out. I don't care.
Well, you make a great point all the time, and you just did it, but in a little bit different way than you typically do. You don't have a friend if you don't have somebody who's going to speak the truth to you in love. And love doesn't always feel like love. Sometimes it feels a little harsh if it's straightforward, but if it's the truth and you know that it comes from somebody who's got the right intent and has your best in mind when they make the point and they try to correct you on something, or at least give their perspective, then you respect them for that instead of just somebody that agrees with you all the time.
Yeah, if somebody agrees with you all the time, they're not your friend. If someone agrees with you all the time, they're not your friend. I can guarantee you that. They're not your friend. They're setting you up for failure. 786 Canes go off on me all the time. Darth Vader goes over me all the time. If they agree with you all the time, they're not your friend. Just period, point blank.
So look at what Zoe's doing during all this. He's throwing me $5 to support the channel. Look at that.
Hey, we got to support.
My goodness. We got to support. All right, man. We will always stick together, and I'm always here for you if you need anything. Any way I can help support the channel and boost you. You're always talking about boosting me up there. Anything I can do, obviously, for you. You know that.
Anytime I'm over here, you know what you can do for me? Don't worry about going to that game and come to the family reunion, and we're going to have fun at the tailgate. We're going to tailgate. We're going to tailgate for a few hours. We're going to live stream from the tailgate, and we're going to live stream from Duffy.
I know you understand, Zoe, though. I got to have my house in order, and I got to be ready when I go down there with enough gear that I can record stuff and stream it and send it.
Whatever you need.
Video, whatever. So I can't just be showing that up with my iPhone. I'm ordering it. I may order 2 different cameras, one that I can take with me, like a little camcorder. I don't know.
I'm getting a camcorder. I'm going to get me a camcorder and a few more things. I'm going to set up a lot different when I'm doing, because I'm going to choose to go to a lot of away games this year and just tailgate. Not go inside, just tailgate. I want to do the tailgate experience. I want to do the around the country tailgate experience this year.
Joe Lewis says we're getting soft.
We're getting old.
We're getting old and getting soft. Yeah, with these spring games going on, it definitely hit me that when I build this up to a certain level, I would love to go on a big spring tour and go to different spring games and meet the fans and talk it up. Martin chimes
That's where
in
you're gonna
again.
go at. I'm telling you, he's. I had to throw something in there. He'll make me feel bad.
Martin says all this super chat money will go to Georgia's GoFundMe after he feels ill from the whooping Miami will give Florida. The beatdown is coming, George. That's tremendous. And NCIS Fanatic 21's telling me if you go to Florida, Miami, you need to go to Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, you know what? In Ohio State, Michigan, we're gonna make sure that we help fund. We're gonna make sure we help fund Mark getting to Miami, Florida. So how about you make sure that he's an Ohio State fan? How about you make sure you help fund him going to Ohio State, Michigan? How about you start a GoFundMe for that right now? Go on your Ohio State fan page and say, let's get Mark up here. Because he's an Ohio State guy, so you should be showing the love already. Matter of fact, I have a Miami guy that has out-donated you on an Ohio State channel.
You know, so I tell the people all the time that if they share the videos, because they've got people on Facebook, they've got people on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. Instagram, you can't post videos, but you get the concept. Social media, Twitter and Facebook, they've got fans and friends and family and social media acquaintances that they have no idea who I am or you are, and they can share those videos and totally broaden our scope.
They don't the power of, that's why I say y'all have all control of how our channel is ran. Y'all have the total control of how our channel was ran and was done. Because if y'all don't, it's up to y'all on what we do. And we truly didn't, like, just now we was at 61 watching, now we're at 75, and now we're at 79. We jumped right back up that quick. And I've also learned from doing radio, Mark, that it is hard to keep people on for an hour. It's hard to keep this many people on for an hour. When I was doing radio, the average person, when I worked at ESPN radio in Columbia, South Carolina, we did a stat where the stat is a nationally known stat that the person listens to sports talk radio on an average of an afternoon on an average of 30 minutes a day. They listen to it on their way home from work. Once they get out of the car, they're not listening to it. So it was so hard to keep people engaged, but we were always able to keep people on. But people only listen to the radio for when they're in their car. No one listens to the radio in their houses. So for you to keep this many people on for this long of a period of time is tough to do.
I was talking about
even when you see it dropping.
I was kind of I was looking at the analytics the other day, and I know that just to get better at this, I got to become better at the analytics. But I was looking at these the other day, and I got to thank the people. It's not me that. So if you figure the average YouTube video, say my average video is 10 minutes, let's say, I'm just throwing that out there. To keep people for 40 to 50% of that video on average is like ridiculous, off the charts. And my retention is like over 5 minutes for a video. And when you know that there are a ton of people that just see it for the first time and they click on it. How many times do you click on a video, people out there?
Click right off.
Click right off. So that brings that watch time way down. So to maintain that for like 50% of the video duration over the course of all the views, I appreciate everyone hanging around these.
What was your peak? Your peak was 117 and your low was like 60. Right now you're hovering at 73. So you stayed around 75 the whole. That's hard as hell to do. That is hard to do. To hover around that number is hard to do. It's not easy to do because people are so in and out.
I haven't done that. You've done that.
No, because I don't do that too often on my channel. It depends. It depends on what I'm talking about. When I get in my rant and raves, people like my rant and raves.
Dennis Wilson makes a interesting comment because we're talking about me going to Ohio State, Michigan. It's at the Big House this year. I'd be going into enemy territory, but of course I'm the voice of college football. And as Prince pointed out, Prince 6'1" last night, that he's even gotten his Michigan fans to watch me. So I should be able to go into the Big House, Dennis. I cover Michigan football as well.
I'll tell you where I will be at this year. I will be in Tallahassee.
Yep.
I will be in Tallahassee this year. I will be in Tallahassee this year, tailgating and at a bar. So anybody got a problem, you come see me in Tallahassee. Cause I'm going to Seminole Nation, and I'm bringing the Choctaw Nation with me because my family's Choctaw. So any Seminoles down there that want to go to war, I will have the Choctaw Nation with me. I'm bringing the whole Choctaw tribe from here in Sanford, Florida.
Oh,
my family's Choctaw, so I'm bringing the Choctaw Nation with me.
All right, Zoe. I think we've kept you on here for way too long.
Yeah, I'm
going
to
see
sleep.
what my kids are up to. Get my daughter a car. That's the big mission for the weekend. But
what kind of car?
I've tried to. So my daughter's 19. She had her first car, and I could go through the issues we've had with this car. So we need to get her another car. But I've been able to convince her over the last few weeks. So she's got 2 more weeks at school. So she thinks that the world's coming to an end because she doesn't have a car for a few weeks. And I've told her we're making a wise decision. We're going to shop. We're going to compare. We're going to do all the right things. We're not rushing in 3 days to get you a car. We'll do the right thing here. You can live without a car. I went out and picked up her old car and brought it back. And we went through the whole 9 hours of shopping for a car yesterday. She didn't feel real well today. So we did everything online. But we're looking at Civics, and we've got Mazdas, and she likes Volvos, and we're probably
get her in a truck.
Get her in a truck because of safety.
Because of the safety. I got my daughter a Chevy Blazer, and she drives my little B2500. I want her up a little higher, and I just want her up a little higher. Serious.
Good thought.
I want her up a little higher. I don't want her in a Honda or anything. I don't want her anything. And that's because of, this is a crazy story, but my ex-girlfriend, she was my ex-girlfriend. We were still close friends, and she was on the way to school, and she was in a little car, and it was in Panama City, and the guys were coming from high school, and they hit her and killed her instantly, and then killed her. And it was a little bitty car. And I don't want my daughters to smoke cars. So they're either going to get a Blazer or a Tahoe, or I'm going to put them in the truck with a crash bar in the front.
Well, we're definitely not looking at little cars.
No, I'm never looking at little cars. Never. I'm never looking at them in a little car. I just won't, because they're built so flimsy, and they're just too small, and they scare me. I don't even drive a little car too. But I'm not. And I understand the gas and this and that. I'm putting my daughters in trucks. And it just is what it is. I'm not putting them in a car. Nope, not in a little car. That's just me. I'm paranoid about little cars. I'd just rather them be in something that's going to give them a little bit more coverage. And little cars are just little.
Absolutely.
786 telling me to go to bed. Go to bed.
I'm going to go eat. That's what I'm going to do.
I don't know if you know who 786 is, but I'm going to introduce you to him. He is the number one insider on 1219 family. That's my big brother.
I didn't know that. He jumps on here. I might see him on here.
No, he is the number one insider. He is the number one. He is walking Miami. He is walking Miami. If without him, there would not be a 1219 family.
You know, somebody said this the other night, and it gets me to thinking that even when I'm not on here, that I could just strike up a live stream and just let people talk to each other, and I get the video views.
I never thought about that. That's actually pretty cool. I might do that.
They could just talk if they want to talk.
I might do that.
That popped in my head a couple of years ago when I did like a halftime analysis, and I told everyone, I just want to watch the second half. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you. And I just left it just here. I had like 20, 25, 30 people just stayed on the entire second half and just talked.
That's a good idea. You might be able to do that. I might do that. I might do that tonight. Might just let people talk tonight. I might come on, let's go watch the fight, let people talk tonight. I'm going over, there's a bar right across. I'm going to walk to the bar and go over there and watch the fight if the fight is on. If the fight isn't on, I'm going to come home.
All right. I'm getting fired up for going to Orlando here on August 24th or a couple days before that, maybe.
Now, that's what got me my press pass at 786. But he'll be at the game. He won't be at he'll come to Duffy's after the game.
So what is the press pass going to do for you if you're not going to the game?
Well, I'll go to other games. Just put me on the sideline. This right here is a guy wanted to. Someone came up with this last year about wanting to meet up and say, "So let's have a family reunion. Let's have a family reunion." And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. No better place in Orlando, because like I want the press pass to go on the sideline, not really to go in the locker room, just to be on the sideline. But to be honest with you, in 76, to tell you, man, the tailgate experience is the whole game. That is the whole game. I mean, you be out there with Mark. You would walk down there, and you might. I don't know if you drink a little bit, but you might be drunk and full before the game's even started. I'm serious. People are just, that's smart. That's smart. They can take this, take that, take this, and you just sitting there like, I can't take all of this.
It'll be funny to see all these people that I've been talking to.
You will see them. They will run up to you. I took probably 250 pictures today. Dead serious. Dead serious, man. It's just amazing. And I finally got 786 on camera. Everybody had been wanting to see who he is. And I finally, he never wants to come on camera. And I was finally able to get him on camera. Because he's a humble guy about what he do, but he is so good at what he does. He is just excellent at what he does. So, but he doesn't want recognition like that. He just doesn't. He don't care about it.
All right.
He works with kids. So
we are going to let you go, and we're going to say goodbye to everyone. And again, like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. Please help us out as we try to build this out here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, and over at Alonzo 1219. You've given me 2 hours plus, though.
It is what it is. And I thought we was going to do about 30 minutes.
And you're going to see a little bit of maybe a snippet or two of this over on Facebook.
Okay, appreciate it.
And that's
man.
another thing. I don't know what your Facebook situation is, though, but I'm telling people, even if they don't want to look at my Facebook page because they're going to see much of the same stuff, just to support, go to Mark Rogers TV on Facebook and just give me a like, then leave.
I'm gonna bring you into the 1219 Facebook page, and you can start sharing your videos over there as well. Because we have
my Miami videos.
Share all your videos.
I'm not going to share all of them. I don't even
share all your videos.
I only post about 5% of my videos to my Facebook page.
Share all. Honestly, but listen, man, it's a football thing, man. We helping each other. Man. It is what it is. It's a football thing. Man. Listen, would it be a football thing if Miami and Ohio State didn't exist or stuff? Nah, you are a fan of a team, but you're a fan of football first. You're a fan of football.
Definitely.
So you can't. I don't sit down after Miami Hurricanes go off. I don't turn the TV off. I'll sit there and watch a Nevada. I'll watch UNLV versus Baylor game. I swear I'll be up at 1:00 in the morning watching a UNLV Baylor game.
Oh man, I am like bleary-eyed by the end of Saturday because I'm watching these Pac-12 games until 2:30 in the morning.
And I watch no NFL anymore. I have no affiliates to NFL anymore. I watch no NFL. So I'm all college.
All right, so we appreciate it, man. You have a safe trip back. Watch those tornadoes.
I hope it ain't no more on the way back. Oh my gosh. You might have to come up here too. I'm gonna get my hurricane sleeve finished. I'm going to get my Sebastian and everything sleeve finished. I'm going to get the whole sleeve done. So, nice. And that's going to be in Orlando next year. I'm going to get the whole sleeve done.
All right. And we've got Tulsa and Iowa coming to the helmet display. Those two won the vote over the last month.
I like both of those. I want to see UCF.
Okay. We'll see.
UCF has deserved it. They've earned it.
So. All right, man.
All right.
Thank you so much. You're the best.
All right, Mark. You be good.
Everybody out there, keep it locked in here. Mark Rogers TV. We've got Penn State, Indiana, Michigan State, all sorts of spring finals. We've got tomorrow, I'm talking Georgia, and I've got Tennessee and UCLA lined up as well in the next couple of days. Plus, I've got my schedule rankings coming out very soon and a whole lot more, as you guys will know. Right here at Mark Rogers TV.
No sense for this guy. This makes no sense for this guy to be this big. I'm leaving him alone. And Jake Florida came. Oh my God. Whatever. I'm out. All right, Mark.
Okay. All right, so
all right, Mark.
We'll see you, man.